This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, this is Jen Cohn, voice of Farah from Overwatch, and I've got you on my radar. You are listening to the Nerd Corporation podcast. And remember that justice reigns from above. Happy listening.
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday. You know what that means.
It's Thursday. I got my hat on. I'm ready to fucking party.
Ready to fuck shit up.
We're here to fuck shit up.
You guys want
I think
to
I
stop?
can help with the whole Pam situation.
Just shut your mouth.
You guys want to stop by the supermarket and get stuff for elotes?
I cannot believe one of y'all has their phone volume on still.
That's me.
You son of a bitch.
I'll fucking do it again.
A goddamn dog. And Ellie, you keep that ass under control.
I don't think she will.
I know.
This is the one dog in my life that farts.
I wish that was happening now so we could leave it on.
Oh, I know.
It is so wild. I've never heard her just sitting and fart
It
like
is
that.
too bad that we did not get that
Like
recorded.
normally it's an accident. Like she's jumping onto something, the bed or the couch or something, and you'd hear a little.
Oops, I pooped a little.
Oops, I cramped my pants.
Oops, I cracked my pants. That was one of the best Saturday Night Live commercial spoofs there ever was.
Well, it's podcast day.
Oh, that!
I guess it's that too.
I mean, yeah, we can do that.
Welcome to episode 68, NCP News 2. We're going to just talk about all the cool things that have been happening over the last week. And, let's get on with it. So, if you haven't heard, Tom Welling's Superman will be in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. And just a couple of days ago, as of this recording, Erica Durance, who plays Lois Lane, is confirmed as well.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah.
Durance.
Yeah. Durance.
And no, that's not the right song.
Nope, that
Wait,
is
well,
that is
what
Flock of
song
Seagulls.
even was that?
And I ran.
Yep.
I get that mixed up all the fucking
Like
time.
as soon as you said that, I knew you were what you were singing. And I. That's all it takes.
It's fucking amazing.
Couldn't get away.
Now Duran is the hungry like the world.
That's right, yeah.
So, the developers of Arkham Origins and the comics author teased
Ellie.
on Batman Day. They just tweeted out, "Wait for it." # Beware the Court of Owls.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's I'm pretty sure they're talking about Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
It has to be. Dude, they've been so
Yeah.
quiet for so long. They have to have something
they
to
weren't
show.
they weren't at E3. Like they didn't have anything at
What was their last
State of Play.
game? It was Arkham Knight,
Arkham
right?
Knight, yeah.
They gotta have something to show. There was that big rumor going around that they were doing a Superman game, which they lovingly came out and said, "No, we know how that goes.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that."
We're not doing any of that shit.
So yeah,
The last good Superman game was Atari.
you might not be wrong.
I know.
That might not be that bad of a take.
No, I think the one for 64 was my favorite one.
Oh my god! Are you? No, you got to be kidding.
That was
Bro, you know
That was
that's
the
like
best
one
one.
of
Hang
the
your head
worst
in
games
shame.
of all time.
It
right?
was the best one ever, bro.
Shame.
Best one ever.
You're taking a page out of my trolley book with that one.
I am. I don't fucking
game.
Dude, that game was bad, bro.
Whack.
I'm really interested to know what they're doing, though. I kind of figured that we were gonna see something from them at PSX, but it's almost kind of looking like PSX is not gonna happen this year.
And I wonder if it was intentional that one of their games is one of the free games for the month.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I was
For
wondering.
fuck's sake. Get some bigger balls, and then you won't need to rev your shit all the time.
It's just a fucking muffler, bro.
It's just a muffler, dog.
Who just sits there in their driveway and revs their shit?
Somebody who has something to prove.
What Nick and I were saying, or what I said and Nick was agreeing to, or he had already thought of as well, is like, was it intentional?
Good God, pig. Come on. No. Come on. You gotta get down or stay down or whatever.
Was it intentional that, what is it, Arkham Knight? Was it Arkham Knight that was, that Arkham Knight is one of the free games for the month?
I would imagine that it was Batman Day. I mean, they got that, the Batman crossover with Fortnite going on too.
Oh, that's right.
Not to mention that the Epic Store has all of them for free right now. All of the Batman, you get all of the Rocksteady Batman games, and you get all of the Batman Lego games.
So what's that all about? How do you do games through that?
You download the Epic Store launcher, and then usually they advertise it on the front, but if you go to the store, it'll say what their free games are, because they do free games every month, and they give away really, really good games. Last month, I got Celeste for free.
This is Epic.
Yeah.
Right?
That game's awesome.
So I would imagine that they're trying to do that to soothe the rough seas in switching between Epic and Steam, right?
Well, it's from what I've been told and what I've been reading about, because at first I was like, okay, Epic's doing Steam dirty and taking all these exclusives away from them, but it's from what I've been understanding is developers get a lot more of the cut through Epic, and it's I thought about it a little more, and I was like, maybe Steam needs some fucking competition.
It's the free market at work, baby.
That's exactly the way that I look at it, is that it is competition, and competition keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
And not only that, I feel like it is such a first world problem, and this is just me being a non-PC person. I really don't understand the issue. It's another icon on your computer, you double click that one instead of Steam. And then bada bing, bada fucking boom, you're playing the same fucking game you'd be playing on Steam. I really don't get it. I really don't get all this bullshit that people are upset about.
My friend Neil, he purchased Borderlands on PC through the Epic Store, because they won't have it on Steam until fucking April. And he's like, yeah, I can still use my overlay for Steam and everything. So, I mean, it's not really that big of a drawback. It's just, at first I was like, okay, they're just fucking... And then I was like, well,
there are some people out there that are acting like this is killing their firstborn child. It's ridiculous. I follow this, I'm part of the Facebook group for that Colin guy, and it was a big fucking deal. This guy posted a picture of him pirating Borderlands 3. He's like, fuck Randy Pitchford and fuck, who is it? Epic. Didn't want to give them their money. And I'm like, okay, well, there's other people that worked on that game, and not only that, you're still, stealing.
Blind brand loyalty is...
Yeah, I will buy any PC game still on Steam, just because that's what I've been using and it's easy to me. But Epic doesn't have a lot to offer on their store.
They're relatively new.
Yeah, besides the free games, which I use Epic for the free games, and they're amazing.
I was gonna say, it just seems like more free games to me. Anybody that comes to me with that issue, I just look at them and I say, okay, this guy. This guy cries when it starts to rain outside.
I was pleasantly surprised though to see that Gears 5 you can buy on Steam, because I knew that they were gonna do the Master Chief Collection on Steam.
Oh yeah,
and the new Halo, right?
I think so.
Or
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but
I know Halo 5's on there.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about Infinite. I don't know. This, I would imagine that it was free just because of Batman Day. Batman's anniversary or whatever.
And it's been pretty cool because, big cities all around the world, like Mexico City, New York, and all that have been, shining bat signals onto, different buildings.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is a little actually old, but we haven't talked about it at all. Have you heard, Eddie, about the Telltale coming back?
No.
Yeah. Telltale is coming back under new ownership. It's going to be operated out of Malibu, and the new ownership group says that it will be re-releasing select games from the studio's back catalog and developing new games in some of the company's best-selling brands. End quote.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So
that's pretty much it.
That's their flagship.
Out the boo.
They're not.
Yeah.
They didn't specifically mention who, as far as previous employees, they're bringing back. But it did say that they have hired or contracted "quote unquote" key talent.
Huh.
So from the previous iteration of the studio. So, yeah, I mean, they're saying in the coming weeks. Let's see, quote, "We're going to stay small over the next 6 months, and we will work for more of a distributed development pipeline than Telltale was known for. We'll focus on tools, technology, and design in-house."
Well, they ended... Did they... I didn't play the last part of the Walking Dead games, but didn't they end that game?
Mm-hmm.
I believe they did.
So I don't know...
I mean, they can do spin-offs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Real quick to finish that quote, because there's actually this is kind of interesting too. It says they said that some things like animation and motion capture will still be done with the right partnerships externally. So that, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Like they're not taking too much on all from the get go.
Yeah, I've seen some takes about this, and I've seen some negative ones, I've seen some positive ones.
Yeah.
I don't really have an opinion about it right now, just because I want to kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because they really did have some shitty business tactics, and they basically bit off way more than they could chew. They took in way too many licenses, and they just couldn't really handle it the best way.
Yeah.
So them going at it in a much more minimalistic sense makes more sense to me, but again, I'm gonna hold my opinions, and I'm gonna hold my expectations a little lower, just until we see something positive happen out of it. Just because, man, those people that lost their jobs from that shit is a lot and really bad. So I just don't really know about it, but I am glad that it's back, because
what the fuck is going on outside?
I just hope that they go about it in a better way.
Yeah,
that's really all I hope. I never want to see people lose jobs.
I mean,
and those guys are talented over there. They just need to focus on other things, like maybe getting a new engine, because they've been running off the same engine since the first Walking Dead.
In general, just look at what wasn't working and led to the issues, that caused their downfall, and then make sure to avoid those same pitfalls.
Yeah. It's not hard.
Yeah.
And their games sell well enough to keep them afloat. So,
yeah. On some sad news, Star Trek star Erin Eisenberg died at 50 today. He was best known as Nog in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He had just been battling a bunch of health issues. He had already had like 2 kidney transplants, and it was just, I guess he just couldn't handle it anymore. So, condolences.
I'm just reading an article on IGN talking about some of the stuff coming to NBC's new streaming service, and it says here, let's see, Sam Esmail's reboot of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, right.
And a sequel to Saved by the Bell featuring Elizabeth Berkley and Mario Lopez.
Okay, so here's the thing. We don't need a sequel to Saved by the Bell was nothing more than a formulaic show with teens of the age. It doesn't
is trash.
Yeah. That doesn't need a reimagining. You can just make a show, call it whatever the fuck you want, have it be the exact same formula, and it doesn't have to in any way be related.
Yeah, it wasn't like Saved by the Bell was something completely groundbreaking.
There was nothing special about it.
Yeah, it was nothing to the vein of Fresh Prince and Family Matters and sitcoms and shows like that. It was just a show.
They took an already existing formula and just did that. They didn't add to it. They didn't do anything special to it. They just took what they knew would work and did it.
It's just a bunch of white kids and 2 colored kids that act like white kids.
Yeah.
Doing white people shit.
And then you know, like the early '90s, there was a lot of PSA shit going on.
Yeah,
The weed episode.
yeah, or the pill episode.
We can't forget about Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, well, I mean, they gave
Never
us,
can.
No.
I don't know. Elizabeth Berkley.
I mean, I didn't really pay attention. I did pay attention more to Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, that's true.
But like after Saved by the Bell, when what was it? She was in that one movie. Berkley was
Showgirls.
Then I noticed who she is.
Yeah, you did.
Hey.
Yeah, you did.
You
Yeah.
dog.
Because I was just like, man,
Right then, right as soon as
You-
they say dog,
you dog.
you
You goddamn
what?
dog.
What did you call me? Did
that
you
me?
need something?
was that me? That's funny. But yeah, no, I don't think we need a reboot of that either. Like,
Yeah.
Some things are good. Some things are better left in the past.
Yeah.
Like, there are things I can understand, like,
Yeah.
being okay to come back because they might have some depth that wasn't researched, that wasn't touched upon
Oh, for
in the
fuck's sake.
in the original.
Yeah.
I think that's and we're seeing that this week with Link's Awakening. Like, I feel like that game definitely benefits from a complete and total rehaul and remake, and what they're doing with the Switch. I think that's a perfect thing. Even though I fucking hate that art style. I hate it. I hate it so much, dude. I hate it. It looks like the fucking the Rudolph fucking
that claymation.
Oh my god.
So I love claymation. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't dig it at all. Like,
All right. Sorry, I just remembered about this. On the subject of reboots,
yeah.
how do you feel, or do you even know? Have you heard about the fact that apparently there is
The Sony executive.
someone is trying to reboot or completely remake The Princess Bride.
Nobody wants it.
No one.
Yeah,
no one
like the
should watch
entire
it.
internet is up in arms about it.
I don't feel
Carrie Elwes actually tweeted about it, and what did he used a line from the movie. He was like, "There's a shortage of perfect movies in this world. It would be a pity to ruin this one."
Yeah.
You know,
I don't feel strongly enough about that movie to the point where I really care.
get out of your own house.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just I think it's a great movie. I just does it pull at any emotional heartstrings? Not really. But again, I come back to my same thing. Not everything has to be remade.
Well, see,
and if the fans are the blood of every great thing.
yeah.
The people that really love this shit. That's why Final Fantasy VII is growing as good as it is because the fans really fucking love this shit.
And I'm sure there are plenty of people like you who aren't like super into it, but the fans who love this movie are fucking rabid, and there is no way that
Well, I mean,
you
look
are
at
going to do
Ghostbusters.
this. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not even going into the fact that it's an all-female cast. I'm not even going to touch that landmine.
Right.
But it didn't need to fucking happen.
I liked it.
Well, and obviously
I
there's
liked it,
people
too.
that did like it. But it didn't need to fucking happen. And so, I don't know. It just depends.
I think it's just this whole like remake
era.
Yeah, like remake culture almost.
Yeah.
Well, we've lost this sense of originality that for some reason we can't... I don't know, like... There's some really great shit being made, but I feel like the level of stuff being made is like being buried by the stuff being remade. You know what I mean?
I mean, new ideas are hard to come by, but at least fucking try.
It's definitely...
You know?
It's not bugging me near as much as it bugs everyone else, but I can understand why it would bug people.
Like, this movie is one of those things that was huge for me in
Isn't
my
this
formative years.
My name is Indigo Montoya.
Indigo Montoya. Yeah.
Indigo.
My name is Blue Montoya.
Again, I'm not that big of a fan of this movie.
My name is Lavender Montoya.
Chartreuse.
Periwinkle.
My name is Beige Montoya.
But like, this was, you know,
That was a good one.
this was like in my formative years, and this movie like means a ton to me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it was.
Same
Makes
here.
sense.
It
makes sense.
The script is amazing. The dialogue is fantastic.
So I will agree
It's
with you.
really
Yeah.
amazing. And
I'll
not
side
only
with
that,
you.
you can't, like...
there's no way you can recapture that with different people.
No, especially, like, granted, most of the cast, I'd say, like, 98% of the cast is still alive, and even if they were to remake it and like have them be in the movie. Like you can't recast Andre the Giant.
No,
like there's
not
no
at
way.
all.
No. Like, who are you going to get? The Big Show? Like, just
Yeah. Or you could go totally weird.
well, yeah, I mean,
You could get Kali out there.
It would fit.
As he comes on screen around the rock. Well!
It's a Big Show.
Fucking pyro.
No,
And he just...
I agree with you. If it's that beloved, then it shouldn't be.
It really is. It's one of those. It's one of those movies that just kind of fits together perfectly. Like there's nothing that you can critique about that movie. Nothing that you can say. Like anybody that's ever been attached to that movie, like knows all of the words, knows every little detail, and still laughs through all the funny parts. Like it's just one of those. Yeah. It's one of those movies that just kind of that is yours. In that sense, you know what I mean?
It's like trying to remake The Big Lebowski, or
Exactly.
Scarface, or any of these movies that are like fucking timeless,
like iconic.
They're so good and timeless. You just don't want them to touch it.
Exactly.
In all honesty, they would probably fucking reboot it with the Rock.
Oh, I know. God damn
he'll
it.
fucking do anything.
Yeah.
See,
Like, can I get in on this, guys?
I want The Rock to be the thing.
Dwayne
So
The Rock
bad.
Johnson is Andre the Giant.
I just kind of wonder, like, if there's like
I'm a dude playing a dude.
if there's a valid way of getting these things across to people who might like them without spending all the money to start production and pre-planning and all that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, before we start throwing a ton of money into the production of remaking The Princess Bride, why don't we ask if that's something people would want? Well, that way they see all the backlash and then they just don't do it.
I feel like that's part of the reason that the world is so spoiler heavy lately. Because it's not like the internet's been around for fucking ever at this point, right? Mm-hmm. But it's only been like the last 5-10 years that, not even 10 years, that there are spoilers everywhere. And I feel like that's intentional by like studios to a large degree. I'm sure there's some shit that totally was not supposed to be put out. But I feel like a lot of that is intentional on the studio's part to go, well, let's see how people would feel about that. Oh, fuck, never mind. All right.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure they'll see it because, when the internet lashes out, it makes a difference. Like, they made the Sonic movie just like start from scratch.
Yeah, because everyone was like, "What in the fuck is that?" And they were just like, "Oh no, that's too much fan backlash." Like, let me just
see. But they are a prime example of what to do, though, because
and it's not even just negative. Like you have all of those different positives as well of like Mystery Science Theater coming back because people wanted it so bad and gave money to that
the
project.
Fans basically
Veronica
remade
Mars,
it.
All of these different projects, like there's it's not just the negative, and of course it's easy to pay attention more to that and focus on that. But like there are also just those positive things where people are like, no, this needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be something that if they were to go about remaking this, they should do, like what Super Troopers 2 and MST3K did. Just be like, here's a Kickstarter. Like, if we don't hit it, we're not making it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I not only that, but it's just like listen more to the fans, instead of being like, hey, what would be really cool if I did something you didn't like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is it? For how long have fans been clamoring for more Firefly? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, make more of that. Like, don't go...
Did it end on a good note?
Well, so they ended the series, and then they also made the movie.
To kind of tie the series down.
Oh, so they end of Evangelion'd it.
Yeah. So they made the movie Serenity.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Which I actually dug.
Oh, that was from that?
I liked the movie a lot.
I just caught bits and pieces of it, and I'm like, is this supposed to be a fucking movie?
Which reminds me, I need to watch Firefly. I've never seen Firefly.
Oh, I love Firefly.
I guess it depends on what it is.
Could get it any day of the week.
But only if she wants to, because we at the Nerd Corporation are
pro-consent.
I'm just wondering if like it just depends on like what it is, because
Well, it'd be my dick.
well,
In her.
in a perfect world, I wouldn't really want them to remake FF7
Right.
because I don't really trust them at all. You know what I mean? Like the way I see it and the way that it looks like it's turning out, looks like they're doing everything that I want them to, but I can't help but feel like that's a 1 in a fucking million shot that they're doing it the way I want them to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like in a world where they're doing the remake, I don't know. It all just depends on what it is. If it's neatly tied up with a little bow and it doesn't, like, it was perfect the way that it ended, I don't think you should touch it. But in the case of something like Firefly, where it's like, okay, there's more stuff that, you know, could go into it and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But also at the same time, that's how we ended up with really shitty Star Wars movies.
And
so
I don't know.
It's give and take.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen this or if any of you would agree with me on this. Do you remember the series Reaper? Do you remember?
Oh my god,
dude,
yes.
That show was so cool.
That also only had 1 season and needs way more. It was fucking phenomenal. So basically this kid, right?
Yeah.
His parents, before he's born, and I don't remember the reason, but they sold their kid to the devil.
Okay.
And so when he turns 18...
Perfectly reasonable.
Right, yeah. I think like the dad was going to die or something like that.
No,
And so, you know,
I totally agree.
But anyway, whatever it was,
Yeah.
they sold their kid's soul to the devil. So when he hits 18, the devil comes calling and he's like, "Hey, so here I am." And he's like, "Come again? Who the fuck are you?"
Who is you?
And so
Who is you?
He finds out that
Who that is.
He basically, the devil owns him, and instead of dragging him to hell, what the devil does is go, "Okay, so here's the deal. Sometimes."
I love how the devil's so cordial.
No, listen.
He really is in the show,
He
too.
is. He's like kind of a dapper dude. And
Okay.
But, so the devil just basically goes, "Look, there are souls who escape from hell. I need someone to wrangle those souls and get them back to hell.
Bring him back.
And that's going to be you." And he's like, "Fuck." so now he has to work with the devil, and the devil will give him some sort of tool
Okay.
for each soul, and it's different for each soul. So this tool is what captures them. So like for a firefighter, I think he had a fire extinguisher that would like actually suck him up into the canister.
Okay.
And that was like the containment unit that he would use. Sorry to use a Ghostbusters term.
Yeah.
But that he would use to give it back to the devil and take him to hell.
Okay.
And so he had these couple of friends who joined him on this. And this is actually the first place I ever saw Tyler Labine.
Okay.
That was the first series that I've ever seen him.
Right on. Okay.
But yeah, it was a fucking great show.
Yeah.
And it only lasted a season.
Yo, those Tekashi 6ix9ine memes are off the fucking chain.
Dog, they're my favorite.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude.
that's great.
I
dude.
saw this one where it was like, it was just him in the courtroom, and it was him just going, "Y'all know Jesse Pinkman's still on the run, right?"
And you know, it surprised me that it took this long for these two to come out. But I finally saw one for Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
And I finally saw one for Waldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Honor.
My favorite one is the Spider-Man one. Cause you
Oh yeah.
remember? Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Far
yeah,
From
yeah.
Home one is like Peter. You know, Spider-Man's really Peter Parker, and the second one's like, yeah. The second one's him like holding his head. Those memes are fire.
That guy just got off scot-free because he snitched everyone
He
out, or
snitched
what?
on his whole gang and then some, bro. Like, he ratted out his like
Bro,
the
prison
Train
did
9.
him dirty, dude.
Fucking he ratted out the Train 9 Bloods and then was talking about all the famous people associated with Train 9.
Yeah, that motherfucker's gonna have to move to fucking Timbuktu.
Well, I mean, dude, with his hair and his face tattoos and everything, like, that guy's fucked.
Yeah.
He just needs to do a little face-off with Nick Cage.
speaking of, they're remaking.
Yep.
Remix.
Did you like that segue?
Oh my
That was a nice
god,
little
dude!
segue, eh?
It never fucking ends. We're
I
like
know,
in this
like-
perpetual fucking tumultuous machine that just never stops spitting out remakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just regurgitating old shit.
I'm
Oh my
actually
God.
for that. Like, I really liked Face Off, and I think to watch another iteration of it would be kind of cool.
Do they have a cast yet?
I don't think so.
Who do you want?
Let's see. Who would I want to play John Travolta's role? I think Tom Hardy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I agree with that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I don't know who I'd want to play Nick Cage's role.
Nick Cage.
Yeah, just
Nick Cage will do anything.
Yeah.
He's still acting, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking love Nicolas Cage. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Maybe Woody Harrelson.
No, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
I'm
Dwayne
liking
The
what
Rock
you're
Johnson.
putting down.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Yeah. But I think. I want to see another like Tom Hardy villain role.
Mm.
I think that would be kind of dope. You know, especially have him use the "Ooh, wee, you good looking."
What about some Woody Harrelson?
That's what I just said.
Oh, did you?
For Nick
Oh.
Cage's role.
I apparently completely missed that.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
This might
No,
sound
wait,
crazy.
Hear me out. Tom Hardy.
Oh, I like that.
I hadn't thought about that.
Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy together.
Yes.
They just switch each other's faces.
Totally.
Tom Hardy is himself.
We are.
Tom Hardy is a stapler.
Rob Schneider is a shoe.
So, did you hear there is a little bit, not much, but a little bit more news on Big Cass?
Oh, really? No.
Yes. So, watch your head there, baby. If I had $1 for every I'd have a whole $1.50.
$1.15.
So, oops, no, that is the wrong place. Yeah, so apparently Big Cass came out and made his own little kind of apology tweet deal. So he's issued a statement, and here's what he says, in quotes. I have been very honest with my past struggles, and it has been an ongoing battle. On Saturday night, I obviously let my demons get the better of me, and I ruined an important night for a really great guy in an unfortunate series of events. All right, Lemony.
Yeah, I was like, let me snicker.
I have worked incredibly hard to get where I am, and even harder to overcome my ongoing battle with depression. But I will work my absolute hardest to right the wrongs of Saturday night and apologize to Kevin Matthews, Pat Buck, Joey Janela, and the entire WrestlePro locker room and all parties involved from the bottom of my heart. I'm getting help from family and friends as we speak, and will be getting professional help in the near future, and ask all to please respect my privacy in the meantime. Let's see. When and if I reemerge as a public figure, it will be in good faith, and I hope to inspire those who struggle with the same mental health issues I do seek the help they need. If Tyson Fury can do it, so can I. Remember, I ain't dead yet, and neither are you. Peace and love, William Patrick Morrissey III.
Cass.
But yeah, no, it's I read somewhere else, maybe it was on here, but anyway, I read somewhere else that he doesn't even remember that night.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember doing any of those things at all. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Good luck to you, Cass.
Yeah. Hopefully you can get what you need, and we'll see you back better than ever.
On the PlayStation front, we have a new State of Play. It's coming out on Tuesday, and it has been confirmed that The Last of Us Part 2 will be there.
Yes.
We are going to hear... I am almost willing to bet that we're going to hear a release date during this. And not only that, I think we're going to see a sizable chunk of gameplay. I'm hoping not too big. I don't want to see any more of that game, really. But I'm like, I don't have the will to look away.
I know.
So,
I want to look away, but my willpower is nothing.
I am weak.
I want to look away, but I'm not gonna.
Dream Scenario is release date announced. Gameplay snippet and collector's edition announced.
Yeah.
I want to see what's in that game.
Wasn't there like a general release date leaked?
Yeah, February 28th. which really, 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 really fucking sucks because 4 days after Final Fantasy VII's coming out.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, fuck me.
I don't even know how I'm going to pay for that game yet.
Yeah, seriously, dude. I'm just going to ask somebody to buy it for me for my birthday.
So fucked.
Because my birthday is like 3 days before that, so...
See, at my last job, I was very certain that I could pay for this game. I don't know what my, amount to my raise will be, but hopefully...
Probably pretty sizable, would be my guess. Yeah, fuck me. Because that's a lot of game to play in like 2 weeks, you know? So I would imagine that I'm going to be really, really screwed during that week. But I'll probably just take a whole bunch of time off. That's why I really want to know, is because if it's true, then I can get just that entire week off.
Yeah,
which the 20th of Friday, or the 20th of February is a Friday.
The 28th of Friday.
The 28th of Friday is a February. So.
That's a lot of Friday.
Fuck you all.
I'm actually in preparation. I'm going through Last of Us like one more time.
Yeah.
Before it comes out.
I want to do it a little closer to the day.
I mean,
when it comes out.
I get distracted mostly with WoW, but with other games.
I hear you.
So it probably won't be that far away by the time I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Plus, if it is, then I can just go through Left Behind.
What would fucking blow me away is if they were like, yeah, and it comes out this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like, obviously that's like pie in the sky hoping.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
They're like, it comes out in a week!
Could you fucking imagine?
Holy shit, that would be amazing.
Well, Neil Druckmann gets on Twitter and says, hey, we've been quiet for way too long. You know, we're going to change that. You know, and every day since that tweet, they've been doing something new, like some kind of new teaser with some kind of quote, and it's like the first one was the knife, Ellie's butterfly knife.
Yeah.
The second one was the hammer that we've seen in all the promotional stuff. Mm-hmm. This last one was some kind of bracelet with a quote from that girl that's kind of maybe dating Ellie, the one that we saw in the E3 trailer. Yeah. It was a quote from her, so I guess, you know, just assuming that belongs to her. You know, I'm loving every minute of it because it's cool, like all this shit is like, okay, we're getting to the point where we're starting to see some shit.
Oh, yeah.
But that's definitely something that I really hope to see. I don't think we're going to see it during the presentation. Probably a release afterwards, like some kind of information released afterwards is what's going to happen in the or what's going to be included in the collectors.
Have you seen some of these like mock-up box arts?
Yeah.
Like
they look fucking
that
great,
one. I
dude.
love that one right there.
I think that is something that they might be looking into.
There's the one where it's just Ellie's face. That
cool.
would be perfect.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but it's definitely gonna be Ellie. Is like probably gonna be the majority of the box art, and then maybe some other characters. I think Joel's obviously got to be on there. Who do you think it's gonna be Ellie 100% playable the whole game, or do you think we're gonna play somebody else?
I think. Well, I mean, I don't think they're gonna just stick to having you play as a single character with no sections where you're not controlling other characters, like they did on the first one, where you were mostly with Joel, but then there were several sections where you were Ellie and.
Well, I think it worked for that game.
Yeah.
And the vibe that I'm getting with this game, and just from off of everything that they've said about it, you know, just in interviews and such, is that this is a really, really dark story. Ellie goes to some dark places, and so I'm wondering if this is going to be 100% a personal story about Ellie. There's no fucking chance in hell that Joel survives this game. Like, that's something that I'm kind of...
You can tell parts of that from other people's perspective, though, too. And have an outside look at what's happening to Ellie. You know what I mean?
He's obviously in the game. Like, we've seen that.
So, there's tons of people that think that he's dead.
I mean, you see that first... What was it? The first trailer they showed where she's playing the guitar, and then he comes in and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill them all. Like,
and that was like, so my theory with that is that she's dating that one girl, right? And then, so this is just 100%.
I got chills just talking about
This is 100% speculation mode. There's no leaks or no nothing like this. This is just some nerd fucking sitting in his room thinking of something, thinking that this might happen.
a little bit.
Yeah. So, what I think might have happened is that there's obviously the new villain in the story, that like crazy religious cult that's like they are nested with sin, and then they like hang people and then cut their guts open, saying that they're setting them free. Like, free them of their sins and all this shit. So I'm thinking that because Ellie is gay and is having a gay relationship with someone, they catch wind of that and they kidnap her lover, essentially, and kill her.
And that's where
that's why she's on this blood-crazed revenge tale.
See, here's what I would like. I would like, so once you're to that point, right, I would like her to kind of meet up with someone who's a part of that crazy religious group who like starts questioning that and befriends Ellie and
betrays her.
Well, not necessarily betrays her, but like just has like some major conflict about these are the people she grew up with, but like now she's going against everything that she has believed this whole time. And so yeah, it could totally go either way.
Okay,
but
I see what you're saying.
But that's someone that I would see you controlling for parts of it.
Okay.
For that other perspective, because you've still got a ton of inner turmoil with a character. Like
there's also. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, along the lines of maybe you said that they could maybe have kidnapped her. I'm wondering if they just straight up kill her, and like the trailer you see where she's like dancing with her.
Yeah.
Like, those are clearly probably, like, flashbacks, you know? Mm-hmm. And that, they could have just, like, done that shit to her.
Mm-hmm. It could be. Another thing that's really interesting is the Paris Games Weeks, or Paris, I don't know what it's called, but it's a game thing that happens mostly PlayStation in Paris, and they did a trailer a long time ago. It's that really fucking brutal trailer where it's raining and they're like, we first get introduced to this cult. Yeah. And they like prop her up and put a noose around her neck and say they're just about to cut her open. And all of a sudden, an arrow comes out of nowhere and these people are all attacked and blah, blah, blah.
An RKO out of nowhere.
So there was a lot of speculation going out around that woman that's in that trailer that maybe she's Ellie's mom.
Oh.
And I can't remember, but there was some substance to that rumor. Like I can't remember what happened, but I definitely remember that being the big thing, is that woman that's like almost hanged in that trailer is Ellie's mom. So, there's so many different ways where they could go with this, and I fucking love.
Have you seen this tweet?
Yeah, that's the hammer. Yeah. Can't wait. Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited. Just because the thing is with this game is like, I feel justified in being excited for this game.
Oh yeah.
Because I know it's going to come out and it's going to be a 10 out of fucking 10 masterpiece banger. Oh yeah. Like, there's no fucking way that it's not going to be.
It's going to do gangbusters.
Oh my god. Dude.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Last of Us, the GOAT.
So.
It really is.
It really is. So, back a little bit on the wrestling front.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, you know what's been going on with Jason Jordan, right?
No, what's going on with him?
So, he's been out.
I know he's been out on injury with his neck, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, he went through neck surgery in February of last year, so 2018, and hasn't returned since. But it's being reported that there's very little hope for an in-ring return.
Oh wow.
He's still having issues with being like gripping power and an inability to make fully form a fist. And he can't fully control that same hand. And it doesn't actually say which one. But I mean, he's tweeting out pictures saying that he's working and trying to recover, and he's optimistic, but But yeah, it's being reported that it's very unlikely.
That sucks, dude, because Jason Jordan's a talent.
That does suck really, really hard.
Hopefully the WWE gives him something to work with, gives him like a commentator role or something.
Yeah, or
it always
something
sucks.
backstage, something.
And it sucks because that kind of neck injuries especially are like one of the bigger like shelvers, if that's a word.
Oh yeah, I mean Stone Cold,
Edge,
yeah.
Like, just to name a couple, like those guys could have had a way longer career, but Sheamus had the same problem. This is why he's not around anymore. So it sucks. It definitely sucks, and it pays to the testament of how dangerous wrestling is.
But it's fake.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully something happens, and by some miraculous event, he'll come back. But
I mean, I could see him being someone who's so fucking determined that that he'll kind of push against the odds and make it back. I mean, same thing with fucking
Daniel Bryan.
Well, yeah, or I mean anybody in it, like James, what's his bucket? Metallica. Hetfield. James Hetfield. He got burned from pyro, and was never supposed to be able to play guitar ever again, and that was decades ago.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll turn out.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Thoughts and prayers.
Sending good vibes.
Yeah. Positive vibes your way, bro.
So, Derek, you've been playing Bioshock a little bit. I want to hear your first impressions.
I mean, I think it's pretty awesome. I like it a lot. I love that old-timey aesthetic. Mm-hmm. Just that kind of the whole atmosphere. Really,
very oppressive atmosphere in that game. It definitely beats you over the head with just how fucked everything happens.
How dystopian everything is.
And just that opening too, where you're in the water among all the wreckage.
So fucking much,
and
dude.
It's so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just
for it being
gorgeous.
for being a PS3 game.
Yeah.
No, for being a very beginning of the 360 life cycle.
Yeah.
Game.
No. I was sitting there looking at this, going, "Wow, this is an old game. What the fuck?"
That's how it was back when I first played it in 2007.
It's
it just
beautiful.
totally blew me away. Yeah. And when you're walking into that lighthouse and the lights are all off, and then all of a sudden they all shoot, all of them come on, and it's just this big, fucking huge statue staring you in the face with the banner, "No gods, no kings, only men." And I'm like, okay, this is dude, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, it's been really cool.
I will say, just fucking wait till the end of the first game.
There are some wild fucking
it's a mind fuck, dude.
Dude, even and especially if you're talking about graphic quality, wait until you see Infinite.
Yeah,
Infinite is underrated.
It really is.
A lot of people really don't like that game.
But that game,
which is weird as fuck because that was Ken Levine's next game. Ken Levine didn't even work on Bioshock 2.
Right.
So, he went from, I don't know if he did anything in between, but he definitely worked on the first Bioshock, and then his next thing was a Vita game. And then it just kind of never came out. And then he started working on Infinite. Infinite's fucking great, and it is part of that collection that I tell you. Like I said, I want you to play that game and play it very, very slow and deliberately.
Yeah.
It definitely, take pictures of everything. I think you're to that point now where you have the camera. Mm-hmm. Take pictures of every enemy, even cameras, all that shit.
Yeah.
Even the little sisters, take pictures of those too.
So, so how many, how much of the... of these pictures are you supposed to do to finish that little quest that you're on?
So that little quest that you're at right now is you're supposed to take pictures of the spider splicers. You really only have to take 3.
Oh,
you have to take 3 pictures of 3 different splicers.
Okay.
Spider splicers, the ones that are crawling all up.
That have those little hook thingies.
Yeah, it's a cool mechanic because you get buffs.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
enemies.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna fucking need. I've been I've been wanting to do a platinum run for this game for a very long time, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it now, just because we're in another dead period.
I like hacking all the shit too.
Hacking is that minigame is addictive as fuck.
Yeah.
Like it's just fun. Tell us about your first interaction with a Big Daddy.
So it was like at first it was weird because I didn't realize that the little sister goes up into that little hole thing, and so I killed the Big Daddy, but she was gone. I was like, what the fuck? What? No. Oh, well, shit.
So she should be right there because the purpose of the holes, and I could be wrong. So if anybody out there wants to prove me wrong, they can. There's the hole in the wall is a safe haven. For them. So you've came to the point where you saved them, right?
Yeah.
I sure hope you did save the little sister.
Well, yeah. Otherwise I wouldn't be past that first.
Well, you can harvest her too.
There's
two choices. What I mean.
No, I saved her.
Don't ever harvest them.
No.
It's a complete waste of time because you get more Adam in that moment, but down the line,
like there are other rewards.
Yeah,
they'll reward you.
She makes it Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum is the keeper of these little sisters. She definitely makes it worth it. So keep saving them, and it just feels better.
I know.
Just feels better to save the little sisters.
And she's so appreciative. She's like, "Oh, thank you."
On another, if you play it again though, because there's trophies for saving all of them and harvesting all of them. So
I figured.
So, another thing I want you to pay attention to is audio diaries. Listen to them.
Oh, okay.
Don't just put them in the background, like actually listen to them because the level of lore that are in these things is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like once you come across, it's not really a secret, but once you come across the truth, it's just gnarly. Like the actual truth of like who the Big Daddies are and where they got the people to do that shit is fucking horrifying. And it's so good, dude. It's like the level of storytelling that's in that game is immaculate.
Well, and I really like that they also have those reels where you can watch like interviews with, and it's the dude who runs E3.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
So that's actually new for the collection.
Which that's so cool.
And it's Jeff Keighley sitting down with Ken Levine and the art director. I forget his name. But yeah,
that's his name, art director.
Yeah.
Hi,
some of the shit that's revealed in that interview is so cool. Like the what's it called? The item dispenser, the circus clown, is actually voiced by Ken Levine.
Oh,
so he's like, "Welcome to the circus of values." That's Ken Levine, and he's like, "Come back when you get some money, buddy." It's just so fucking cool to hear all that shit. And I sure hope that it was the Juanito Bandito guy that does the ammo. I sure hope that's not Ken Levine because that's such a horrible Mexican impression. Yeah, I'm super excited that you're playing this game because it's so up your alley, dude.
Yeah.
And eventually, I mean, obviously, I bought the game for you for a reason. I want to cover it on the podcast because we need to talk about that game.
Yeah. So hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll have a Bioshock episode.
I think probably 2 weeks. So next week we'll do something else, and then the week after that, let's focus on doing Bioshock, if that's good with everyone else.
I mean, as long as I get it finished.
Yeah.
Like
it's not very long.
You just want me to have at least the first game, right?
I want to just talk about the first game and that's it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about because I feel like we could do individual episodes per game because they're all so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like Bioshock is top 5 for me, like in all time.
Dude, it's crazy because I forgot how terrifying that game is.
The game is very scary.
Like there are just
when you
some
run
parts.
to your first splicer.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
yeah, dude. Like the atmosphere is just wonderful.
Well, once you hear like the story about the splicers and how they got so fucked up, like, and obviously you've gotten to that point, so we can talk about it. But Steinman, he kind of really fucked everyone up.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why they're wearing the masks is because they don't want to show their fucking horribly disfigured faces. You know, like, oh god, it's so good. It's very scary. It is very, very scary. And the funny little thing, I'm going to tell it now just because I feel like it's not going to matter in the review episode. The first time I played this game, I rented it. I rented it in 2007, right when it came out. Saw all the videos for this game, and I'm like, the Big Daddy is literally one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it's the coolest thing to see cosplayed.
Yeah, it's oh god. There's so I'm like trying to think of like the like a tattoo design for the Big Daddy, But I popped it in. It was on the 360 because it wasn't on the PS3 at the time. PS3 was notoriously hard. Obviously, arcing back to our PS3 episode, it was very difficult to design games for it. So it came to 360 first for like a year or two. I can't remember. But that game scared the holy fuck out of me in 2007 to the point where I got like halfway through the medical pavilion and I was like, I can't play this anymore. Totally dropped it.
Well, it's crazy because like, and I was just like, oh man, this game is like hella scary. But when you get to the medical area, and there you see that one doctor that's working on it, he's like, no, ugly, ugly. Well, that, but like, he's like, how can I fucking work on you when you won't? And it's like every word he's like pounding on her chest.
Well, not just pounding, like he's stabbing.
Yeah, like she won't hold still, you know. And then he's like. And he talks about Aphrodite, like his main inspiration for like perfection is Aphrodite or however you say his name.
Aphrodite's I don't know.
So he's like, oh, Aphrodite, I like, what do? I can't focus, like, and he like points to his left, and the light goes onto this like cross like thing with someone nailed to it, and he's like, this one is too fat. This one is too tall. This one is too symmetrical. And like, I'm like, oh my god. And then he finally catches wind that you're there, and he's like, who the fuck? He's like, ugly. And he starts fucking shooting his Tommy gun. Oh, dude, it's so, like, such a crazy fucking first impression for a game.
See, like, this is kind of like the level that I really, really wanted We Happy Few to be at.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
That's the level that everyone wanted We Happy Few to be at.
True.
Because they came out, yeah, it's kind of like Shock.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Yeah, no, like...
kind of go fuck yourself.
Let us not forget that they actually said that.
Wow.
They're fucking high.
They are.
On opiates.
God, that could have been so amazing.
Very glad you're playing this game. It's fucking amazing. It's an amazing video.
I can't wait to see what you say about the ending. Like,
you never played a game called System Shock, did you?
No, no, they talked about it.
It's going to make it even better if he didn't play that game.
They talked about it in the interview a little bit, but
that was kind of the inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have that game on Steam.
Well, it was funny. It was funny because he asked Ken, was it Ken?
Ken Levine.
Yeah, he asked Ken Levine if this was at some point like originally supposed to be like a follow up to it, and he was like, well, no, because we couldn't get the rights to it.
And he's like, well, and it sold like 5 copies.
Oh, right.
And so like nobody wanted to back him because he went in and like said like, yeah, it's kind of like a spiritual successor to System Shock. And they're like, well, how well did System Shock 2 sell?
Oh, it didn't.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, about that. So yeah, it's keep watching those interviews when you find them because they're just a joy to watch.
They are. They're pretty.
They're
dope.
long too.
Yeah,
they're very long. There's one in each level.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, save all the little sisters. At least try. Always look for those audio
So how many
barriers.
of them are on each level? Because like on the
There's usually about 3.
When I got to the second level, I saved 2 of them, and then like immediately, like in the same fucking spot almost, was another one. I was oh damn!
If you're playing
That
and you
happens.
look on the bottom, there's a little meter that shows how many big daddies you've killed. And
on the
there's-
pause screen.
Yeah,
on the pause
and
screen.
there's one little sister per big daddy. Usually.
Okay, well yeah. But yeah, no, like it was funny because on that second level, like when you take the bathysphere to that next spot from the medical area, like right when you get off and you go around that hallway and you go through the 2 doors, and then you open up into that big room. Like the second I went in there, little sister, right there.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
No. Yeah, that totally happened.
Without spoiling anything, just like you two can attest. Like, talk about one of the greatest endings to a video game ever. Like, is the first Bioshock. Like, that shit. You'll see.
I have some issues with the tail end of the game that I'll get into in the review, but it in no way affects my overall opinion of that game.
Like 1 and 2, their endings were phenomenal.
I'm excited because I haven't even played 2.
What?
My god!
I've never played 2. I've never played. Yep.
Boo!
I know. I've never played it.
Boo this man!
Boo! I did play. I played the fuck out of
See,
Infinite.
and that's
though.
another thing that always reminds me of Princess Bride. Boo!
Yeah.
Boo!
Yeah, I couldn't be more happy that you're playing that game.
Yeah,
it's definitely up
it's
your
been
alley.
really cool so far.
What do you think of Andrew Ryan so far?
Who?
Andrew Ryan. He's the guy that does.
Oh, the dude.
He's the creator of Rapture.
Right.
What do you think of like his opening speech when you're in the bathysphere and he's taking you down into Rapture?
Yeah.
When he's like, what does he say? He says, "Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow?" And he's like, "No," says the man in the Vatican. "It belongs to God." And he's like, "No," says the man in Washington. "It belongs to the poor." And he's like, "No," says the man in Moscow. "It belongs to everybody." Dude, I played this game so many fucking times. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, no, like
you haven't even played 2.
I know.
Because you can tell like right then like okay, this guy's insane. You know?
Yeah, no, like
I mean,
you have to,
okay.
Oh, okay.
you have to be insane.
I mean, he's very adept at saying things in a very calm manner and really kind of just underplaying what he's actually getting at.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can tell that it's immediately obvious that this is one of those situations where he's fucking nuts and will do anything he needs to do to get what he wants.
Yeah, that another big reason why I'm telling you to listen to the audio diaries is because it definitely goes a lot more into why Rapture failed and why it was such a good idea when they first started it, but it turned into such a fucking nightmare in the end.
Because it's just fucking underwater.
Which, by the way, that
is the
bathysphere...
coolest fucking setting for a video game.
Like, that bathysphere on the way down was so fucking cool.
Oh, and like he's like...
As it opens up.
Yeah, he's like, I did the impossible, and it's
God.
like, I made Rapture, and then the thing goes up, and the octopus comes by.
Yeah.
Oh, and you see that huge thing in the city, and you see
so
all
rad.
these, like, fucking 50s neon signs underwater, like, flashing, because obviously they wouldn't fucking work underwater.
And then don't
like,
you see, like, a Big Daddy, like, repairing outside?
Yeah. Well, and not only that, there's one part, too, I don't know if you're going through one of those... connection tunnels between buildings, but like you're going to another and you look to the left or to the right and there's a Big Daddy just like walking. It's so good. And like the sound that the Big Daddy makes is like, it's haunting because you're like, all right, it's time for a big fucking battle.
You know
and
it's so funny because you can just stand there right in front of him and just go, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do anything until you open fire on him, and then he's like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's such a cool fucking enemy, bro.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And like the different like types of Big Daddies, like obviously there's the Rosie. I think the Rosie's the one that has the drill, right?
Yeah.
And then the Bouncer is the one that has the gun, the rivet gun.
No, the Bouncer's the one that comes at you.
Oh, that does the
charging.
chases you down.
That's the one with the drill. The one with the drill will chase you. And that's a Rosie. Here, I'm going to look it up.
It could be Rosie's the one that has the rivet gun, because, you know, Rosie the Riveter.
That would make sense.
I could just be making that up, though, but...
It would make sense.
So there's the Bouncer, the Rosie, the Rumbler, the Alpha, and the Lancer. But I don't think any of those other ones are part of the first game.
Yeah, just the Rosie.
Just wait till you start playing 2 and encounter the Big Sisters.
Okay, so the Bouncer, you were right. The Bouncer is the big one with the drill. The Rosie is the one with the rivet gun that throws signs at you. And then I'm sure there's other ones, but
yeah, and that's the only thing that was annoying is that, you know, so I'm all ready with my fucking lightning, and then I go in there and I shock him once, start shooting him, and then he throws the mine at me. I was like, oh fuck!
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I gotta hurry and switch. Oh, I'm dead.
Did you get the trophy for electrocuting someone in water?
Yeah.
Oh god, I love it.
Yep.
I love that shit so much.
Yeah, I've already gotten a few trophies. I'm sure they're fairly common, but
not as much as you'd think. I mean, obviously there's the, you know, finish the end of the chapter trophies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's still in there. Just for like every major story beat. There's a couple for obviously different kinds of plasmids. and then there's a couple for like taking pictures of them, like fully researching an enemy or something like that. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the platinum, and doing the platinum involves playing the game without the Vita chamber on the hardest difficulty, and it's hurting my ego a little.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
like I was telling you guys. I mean, I'm having a great enough time already that I wasn't even paying attention to the time.
Yeah.
Looked up at the clock and went, "Oh fuck! I'm supposed to be over at Kohl's already."
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, that's a good thing you only live down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm excited to hear more from your adventures in Rapture.
So tune into in the next couple weeks. We'll talk about Bioshock 1.
So excited.
And the week after, we could probably just do the week after Bioshock 2.
Okay.
And Infinite.
If Cole's at that point.
That's really gonna cut into my WoW Classic, but
You've played Bioshock 2, Eddie, right?
I have.
Yeah, so it's like we're the ones that have.
I
that
remember
knowledge.
like snippets of it. Because I remember coming across the Big Sisters. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
These things are terrifying. It's like, how do you take the Big Daddy and make it even scarier?
Make it a woman.
Where's the lie, though?
Well, that concludes our news episode. I hope you guys enjoyed our little mini impressions of Bioshock and all the news that we got. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcore Podcast.
Or you can shoot us an email at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want to follow through Rapture and get all the greatest news, subscribe to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Nerdcore Podcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to extras and bonus content. Also, if you can't make a monthly commitment, consider donating to our PayPal. PayPal.com/Nerdcore Podcast. We want to have giveaways and have all of the best equipment so that we can keep this running. So, for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Nick Lewis.
I'm Derek Reese.
Later on.
Okay.
I don't know. I was going to say later's on the Menjay again, but I've said that like 5 times.
Later on.